Amazon founder Jeff Bezos tied the knot in Venice over the weekend in a modest little ceremony that reportedly cost just $50 million, which in billionaire terms is basically rummaging for change in the yacht cushions. The guest list looked like a who's who of woke royalty: Leonardo DiCaprio, Oprah Winfrey and Bill Gates, to name just a few. Am I a fan of any of them? Not particularly, but then again, it wasn't my wedding, so what business is the guest list to me?
Looks like not everyone popped champagne for Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's ultra-luxe wedding. While the couple floated through Venice like stars in a Netflix rom-com no one asked for, Megyn Kelly was on air doing what she does best, ripping through the glitter with a steel tongue. With Walter Kim and Maureen Callahan by her side, this wasn't commentary, it was a surgical takedown dressed as wedding gossip.
Well, let's just start with this ridiculous wedding that took place over this weekend, because these two were behaving like they thought they were royalty.
Kelly didn't just throw shade, she opened a solar eclipse, calling the whole event fake, off-putting, and ridiculous. She dragged every detail of the over-the-top ceremony. From their rented Renaissance vibes to their yacht foam parties, this is all for show. A perfectly curated blend of old money performance and modern attention-hungry fakeness. In her words, it's a giant PR stunt trying to look like something it isn't.
Because that's what you do when you are Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. You invite only your close, you're literally one of the richest men in the world, worth $250 billion. So you'd make sure that you only invite the people who love you for you. You know, the people who were there before you built Amazon. You know, like Gail, like Tom Brady, like all of the Kardashians who are there, like Orlando Bloom. It's super tight. Literally 2 out of the 6 space morons.
What really caught her eye, or made her eyes roll, was the guest list. You know, the kind that reads like an Oscars seating chart. Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King, Tom Brady, Leonardo DiCaprio, the whole Kardashian clone, and the entire glam squad. Even Queen Rania of Jordan showed up. Kelly's point? This wasn't a gathering of friends, it was a casting call for the most elite clout circle on earth.
Sure, it's Sydney Sweeney, the new toast of the town out there because she's got these enormous breasts that everybody's obsessed with. How does she wind up there?
And who got caught in the middle of all that Hollywood sparkle? None other than Sydney Sweeney. Megyn Kelly went nuclear, claiming the Euphoria bombshell only got invited purely for her looks, specifically pointing to her enormous breasts. Cue the backlash. Fans, media, and feminist think pieces erupted, roasting Kelly right back for sexism, body shaming, and going full villain without a script. Media outlets like Entertainment Weekly and Yahoo slammed her for being overly harsh and oddly personal. Headlines highlighted her controversial remarks about Bezos and Sydney Sweeney, sparking online chaos. Some viewers praised her boldness, while others cringed, accusing her of crossing the line. The reaction? A full-blown internet frenzy split right down the middle.
This is exactly what Meghan and Harry did. The bigger your name, the more likely you were to get an invite, because what matters to them is that it's a star-studded event, not that they have dear friends who love them standing up for them when they take a sacred vow.
But it didn't stop there. Megyn Kelly nailed the comparison. This wasn't far off from Harry and Meghan's celebrity-stuffed, camera-ready royal circus. The only real difference? That one came with royal drama. This one came with a yacht. Both screamed, "Look at me!" But Bezos and Sánchez took it to another level. It felt like a billionaire trying to buy a crown and ending up with a Bravo reality show trailer instead.
What about the good people of Venice getting up and saying, you know what, Jeff Bezos, yeah, I know you got more money than God, but you don't get to just rent the whole joint and take it over for your wedding. And he and the lady who got him out at the inauguration, they're going to go somewhere else now.
Let me tell you something. These two are desperate for attention.
And then came the plot twist. Venice didn't exactly roll out the red carpet. Protesters hit the streets, more like the canals, accusing Bezos of exploiting the city for a billionaire fantasy. Environmental activists paddled in inflatable crocodiles and dumped a Bezos mannequin into the water with cash and Amazon boxes. Because this wedding wasn't romantic, it was a rich guy's fantasy hijacking a historic city for likes and headlines.
List to me. What shocked me, though, was how angry people got about this wedding. Greenpeace and Extinction Rebellion, they staged protests. Local Venetians didn't want their city overrun by tourists, which is like a kebab shop owner complaining about drunk people.
Greenpeace, the group known for bold climate protests, crashed the Venice wedding with a banner that read, "If you can rent Venice, you can pay your taxes." And they had a point. According to ProPublica, Jeff Bezos has paid just 1.1% in taxes in recent years. That's even less than what most working people pay. Meanwhile, Amazon warehouse workers are out here sprinting on factory floors, afraid to take bathroom breaks. Reports say they've been peeing in bottles to meet quotas. While Bezos sails Italian waters on a mega yacht, his workers are pulling 10-hour shifts with surveillance-level oversight. Luxury for some, labor exhaustion for the many. The American dream just hopped on a fancy boat and forgot the rest of us exist.
Leonardo DiCaprio with his environmentalist lectures. How do you explain all the planes that were required, the private flights that took Oprah and Bill Gates and the rest there, Leo, and probably Leo too, and all the boats? Here he is, getting in one of the Venetian boats to get to the weddings, the wedding events. Like, all of these people claim to speak for values that were not on full display.
Oh, just when you thought the hypocrisy was over, it got even more ridiculous with celebs flying in private jets to a climate-wrecking wedding. Because nothing says we care about the planet like burning thousands of gallons of fuel to pose at a billionaire's wedding. Celebs who preach climate change showed up like Leonardo DiCaprio, Mr. Save the Planet, flew in on a carbon-belching plane. The Kardashians too. And somehow, nobody caught the irony of the eco-conscious elite dumping tons of CO2 into the atmosphere for a photo shoot dressed up as a wedding.
And I quote, "I think we might be the only people who didn't get an invite to the Bezos wedding, but that's okay because they suck and we're cool." Stephen, Jeff Bezos is worth billions and to the left represents the excesses of capitalism. But does that make it okay to hate on his wedding?
And while some celebs flew in like moths to a billionaire flame, a few notable names ghosted the whole circus. Eva Longoria, supposedly one of Sanchez's closest friends, bailed at the last minute for filming and shoulder surgery support. Translation, hard pass on the cringe. And Katy Perry, off touring Australia while her ex Orlando Bloom partied solo. When your VIPs RSVP with silence, maybe the real headline is, even your friends said nah.
His relationship, his extramarital relationship with Lauren came to light. They've both undergone significant physical transformations. Her face has become a sea of injectables, a repository for injectables, as have apparently her breasts and her butt. Jeff has transformed himself into some sort of very taut, muscular, bald, glowing personage that to me resembles a walking penis.
Then there was the fashion. Oh, the fashion. Lauren Sánchez strutted out in a Dolce & Gabbana lace number that screamed, "Bridecore, Barbie goes billionaire." Kelly didn't hold back, roasting the whole look as cosmetic surgery and couture. She said Sánchez looked like she didn't blink for 45 minutes because of all the fillers. That's not beauty, that's Botox fatigue. What's even wilder?
Why? Because I did not call the paparazzi and say, "Hey, I'm on a yacht. Come take my photograph so people can admire my life and me." That's 100% what they are doing. It's very clear to me. They cannot just live their beautiful lives with their billions and billions of dollars and friends and so on. They need you and me and your audience to look at and envy them. They need to rub it in people's faces. We're on a yacht and you losers are not.
Many insiders believe the whole wedding was staged for the paparazzi. Kelly and others claim the Paps were invited to Venice, camera angles and all, like it was a Vogue cover shoot with a marriage license. When your wedding has more PR strategy than an election campaign, maybe it's time to admit you're not celebrating love. You're selling it? Kelly even questioned the sincerity of the couple's connection. "They don't look in love," she said. "They look like they're playing a part." The chemistry, non-existent. The kisses, stiff. The vows, whispered like legal clauses. If marriage is a contract, this one might have been printed on Amazon Prime cardboard and sealed with a press release. But to be fair, Bezos isn't all yacht decks and photo ops. He has donated millions, hundreds actually, to early education, climate innovation, and homelessness relief. The Bezos Earth Fund and Day One Families Fund are real things, but critics argue these are pennies compared to what he could contribute if he just paid taxes like the rest of us.
Freak show, and it just feels very, just like it's aggressively an FU to the rest of us who are just grinding it out day to day. I mean, look at her bouncing around. It is like bouncing around with her pneumatic boobs, and like it's just disgusting. It's
back to the party. Foam showers, pajama parties, fireworks over the Grand Canal, custom ice sculptures, and yes, champagne sprayed from drone-mounted bottles. This was less I do and more I'm richer than you. One headline read, Bezos turns wedding into Super Bowl halftime show. Too bad the only halftime performer missing was Beyonce.
So this is just a big FU. Look at how much money we have, the people we can buy. We can buy the city of Venice, which the residents, the Venetians, do not want them there.
Venice locals, by the way, not thrilled. Some were barred from their own neighborhoods. Water taxis rerouted, streets closed. The wedding disrupted business, daily life, and tourism. It felt like we were background extras in a billionaire's fantasy movie, one Venetian said. And no, they didn't get paid or invited. Bezos' team, of course, claimed it was a private celebration with personal meaning. But when you drop $50 million on your third wedding and dress it up like a luxury runway show, don't expect the world to buy into your humble vows narrative. Especially when the backdrop is a historically sinking city both literally and symbolically.
Foam party. So they want us to be looking at this, Maureen, which is a real middle finger with the money splayed out Marie Antoinette moment. Need a Venetian taxi, a water taxi, or a ride on a gondola, or to get into a Venetian restaurant.
Walter Kim chimed in, pointing out how every moment seemed like it was being directed by a marketing team. Nothing spontaneous, he said. It's all projection. And when your wedding has less intimacy than a State of the Union address, you've missed the point. That's not love. That's brand strategy.
Even Jeff Bezos is worth billions and to the left represents the excesses of capitalism. But does that make it okay to hate on his wedding?
No, and this just shows the really dark side of the left, this hatred of success. We talk a lot these days about the great sort of evil of inequality, but I would propose that that's really not what a great evil is. A great evil would be something like...
Of course, fans split into two camps. Team, it's their money, let them celebrate, and team, billionaires don't need this much attention while workers struggle. It raised bigger questions about inequality, climate impact, and what kind of people we put on pedestals. Because if a wedding feels more like a Fortune 500 flex, then maybe it's time to log off the Bezos fan club.
So thank God for the Italians who said, that's the Italian swear, and told them to get out. We're Venice. We'll have millions of tourists coming to us next year and the year after. We are not dependent on you fools who think that they can go over and take over one of our most beloved global cities like it's their own backyard because they're rich.
And Megyn Kelly, for all her harsh words, she cracked open a conversation. Maybe she didn't say it kindly or respectfully or even fairly, but she did say what a lot of people were thinking. In a world where billionaires keep pretending they're relatable, sometimes it takes a roast to remind us. Fairy tales aren't real, especially not in Venice. So, what do you think? Was this wedding a billionaire fairy tale or just a red carpet circus with no soul? Drop your roast in the comments, hit that like button if Bezos' yacht couldn't distract you from the chaos, and don't forget to share this with someone who still thinks money buys taste. Subscribe, because the drama's just getting started.